Good morning, everybody. J.R. Fisher here. It is a Monday morning. We've got a nice, bright and sunny day here in Georgetown, Texas. Let me know what it's like where you're at. Don't forget to chat. Put some comments in that chat box. Tell me, what you're doing, where you're at, any questions you may have. Today is going to be really cool because I'm going to talk about some huge changes in social media. And if you're doing social media, if you don't know about these changes, man, you could be left behind. But if you do know about them, and you do them, you're going to just excel in 2022. I mean, the world has changed. Social media is changing. And if you've been using it, for the past 10, 15, 20 years, it isn't going to be the same way this year. Everything's changing up. So you want to stay to the very end. I'm going to give you a list of all the things that have changed. Also, things that you can do to make sure that you're part of the conversation and you don't get left behind. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there. Turn it from red to gray. Don't forget to ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live or if I upload a video. So guys, this social media thing, and I'm not a big social media person. I got to tell you, I'm just not. Let's see here. Paul says, let me put it up on the screen here. I got to get everything on the screen. Paul says, FYI, your last cooking video was incredible. Can't wait to try. Yeah, that was the chicken, mushroom, garlic, and cream sauce over the butter noodles, in case you're not hungry. That was a good recipe. I'm not kidding you. It was like, it is because, and I don't want to get off track here, but you did this to me, Paul. If you use chicken thighs, you almost can't overcook them and they always stay moist and good. And guys, if you're interested in recipes and cooking, run over to my other channel. It's restaurant quality recipes. And I show you how to cook at home much better than a lot of restaurants and save a ton of money. But let's get into the social media stuff. That's what I'm going to talk about today. This social media stuff, because this is some interesting stuff, guys. This is stuff that, we think we learn and we're on top of, and then things change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the changes, why they're changing, and what you can do about it. And there's a lot of different trends right now. I use a program called Hootsuite, and that's how I post all my social media. But let's look at some of the trends. Okay, the first one is TikTok will become the most important social media network for marketing that there absolutely is. And I got somebody waving outside my window there. My wife's outside with the dog. So Instagram actually held the #1 spot for social media marketers for the past few years, but that's all changing. TikTok has surpassed 1 billion user mark since September 2021 it was, I believe. They made the 7th most popular social media network, excuse me, in the world. If you exclude messaging networks, okay, you take out the messaging ones, TikTok is actually the 4th most popular social media network after Instagram. That's huge. I mean, that really is huge, guys. What's the big deal? Well, in January 2021, it only had 689 million users, only 689 million, right? That's a 45% increase in less than a year. So if you're not using that platform, which I admit, I'm not using TikTok, but I got to tell you guys about it. I got to tell you what's out there. And this comes after the largest growth spurt of global user base of 1,157% between 2018 and 2020. To put it in perspective, think about this. Instagram's monthly active users grew at a rate of 6% alone in 2020. Even more interesting, Google search trend shows that TikTok completely dominates Instagram short form video content. Because we all know that Instagram Reels is out there, but over the last year, search demand for TikTok has grown by 173%, but search demand for Instagram Reels has grown by only 22%, and it has decreased by 33% for stories. So if you're doing that story thing on Facebook, people aren't looking at it anymore. Despite TikTok's rapid growth, most businesses are hesitant to invest in the network. Take the results from Hootsuite Social Media Trends Report and listen to this stuff, guys. This is huge. You do need to get involved, and we probably will too. Only 35% of respondents say they planned on creating or increasing their investment in TikTok in the next year. So if you do, you're going to be ahead of them. Most businesses continue to place big bets on reliable networks like Instagram and Facebook, but man, they're dying out. They're just dying out. I got another comment in here. Let me stick that on the screen here for you, Paul. How do people drive people off TikTok to a sales page? Can it be used to build email lists? Same thing as you would with anything else, Paul. It's links, putting links in there. I don't use TikTok, so I'm not going to tell you that I'm an expert on this. I've just done some research on what the big things are and the big changes are. So I wouldn't be your best person, to learn about that. But there's as you know, on YouTube, there's plenty of videos on TikTok, and you could learn that stuff. Next thing, number 2 is actually you will start spending big ad dollars on smaller networks. That's the big trend now. All of the social media trends on the list. This is probably the most surprising thing, that people are getting away from a lot of the big networks and they're going to smaller ones. Now, there's a lot of reasons for this. A study by Cantor commissioned by TikTok found that consumers rank TikTok ads as inspiring and enjoyable as ads on other platforms. A Nielsen study actually commissioned by Snapchat found that ads on Snapchat had more reach than TV ads and led to greater awareness and purchase intent. So if you're doing TV ads, which are very expensive, you may want to get off them. It's not working. A Pinterest business study showed that ads on Pinterest had greater return on investment and cheaper conversion rates than ads on other social networks. So that's something that you really want to be aware of. Google search trends also show increasing search demand over the last 2 years for ads on these networks. So that's something you want to look at. Things are changing up. So the smaller networks aren't as saturated with ads as Facebook and Instagram. So you're going to stand out a little bit more. There's less, user fatigue. They don't see as many ads, so your ads will stand out a whole lot more. A lot of social pros have had to diversify their ad strategy in early 2021 in response to Apple's iOS 14 update. This is actually when Apple announced an opt-in to ads tracking options for all Apple users, blocking Facebook's ability to target a vast chunk of its audience. So that's something you got to look at. Importantly, though, TikTok, Pinterest, and Snapchat all encourage advertisers to make their ads fit in with organic content. Let's see here. Just got a little message here, and it seems important, but I'll take care of it later because I'm talking to you guys. The result is that ads are more entertaining and less disruptive, increasing conversions and all-around vibes for businesses. Like something on TikTok is probably pretty interesting to watch. On Facebook, not so much. So what do we need to do? You need to take a closer look at your engagement across all platforms. Have you been underestimating Pinterest users, neglecting the potential of your Snapchat audience? You want to study the content people post on the network to see what other people are doing. See if you can improve your brand's way of doing ads and fit in with the vibes that are actually on the platform. You want to seem more like the platform. Experiment on creating ads on the network, or at least test new networks, especially if you've discounted it too much effort for organic content in the past. The next thing, number 3, and let's see, what are my time? Oh, I'm doing good on time. Shoppers will expect to buy your products directly on social media. They no longer want to see something on social media and have to click and then go to your website. Before the pandemic, social commerce was like a flashy opportunity for the most innovative businesses, like mattress disruptors, eyeglass disruptors. Basically, you had to call yourself a disruptor before you'd let your customers shop on social. But increased social media consumption combined with stay-at-home mandates increased the perfect conditions for all these businesses for social shopping explosion. And basically what that means is while they're on that social platform, they can just click and buy. They can just click and buy, which is pretty cool. Let me see here. Got another comment I want to stick up on the screen. Let's see here. I think you have to be genuine on TikTok. The ones where they don't relate or have a non-speaking video have limited appeal to me personally. Yeah, I want to weigh in on this, and I want to tell you my opinion, but I'm not on TikTok. Okay, it's not my thing. I'm just giving you the data so you can do with it what you want. Do you find people relate to a more guerrilla marketing style video or a super structured type video? Well, I do my ads, and I did for many years on Facebook, and I do them on YouTube now. And I got to tell you, I'm not doing a lot of ads right now. And the reason I'm not doing them is because we're out of product. So there's no point in advertising for more sales if you can't supply it. So, if business dies down a little bit, and I don't want it to, obviously, but if it does, then of course I'll go into doing more of those ads. Emarketer predicts that social e-commerce will be an $80 billion industry by 2025. That's insane. It's riding on the coattails of equally massive e-commerce growth at an increase of 18% for 2020 alone. So guys, I mean, this is where you want to be for your advertising. 81% of shoppers were already using social media to discover new brands and research products before the pandemic. Okay? So many businesses have figured out that letting these users check out in the same app just makes sense, okay? It keeps them on the app. And I think the app likes it better too. And they're probably going to show your ads to a broader audience, because if they're not leaving the app, then of course they're keeping them on there and they're making more money. After all, navigating to a website is an extra step, okay? So the fewer the steps that we can put in front of somebody, the better our conversions are going to be, okay? That's just the way it works, especially on mobile, where cart abandonment rates are super high because a lot of people just click to see what the heck it was. Most social networks have an in-app shopping solution now, including live video. So that's something that you want to look at. What was the other thing I wanted to tell you? Oh yeah, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest are the most popular, and TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube aren't far behind. So they're all doing pretty well at this point. So things that you could do to help you in this area: if you sell products to people, you want to set up a Facebook shop and an Instagram shop and test out product pins, or Pinterest. There's some design flexibility in these shops, so make the customer experiences visually seamless as possible with your brand, okay? You want to do that. Don't worry about getting your whole inventory up there. Just focus on putting like certain items on there, maybe some of your hottest selling items. You want to experiment with shoppable posts or even ads. This will allow customers to see your products in context and then place an order in just a few steps. So that's something you may want to do. Let's see here. Let me get over to some of my comments. Paul's doing good today. Is Emarketer a site or YouTube channel to be checking out? It's a site. And I believe, let me just check one thing here, Paul. I want to check something before I say it. That's a great question. But they are a site right now, and they do a lot of research. I just want to see something before I say it. Right there. I'm going to go to that one. All right. Now let's see here. Hang on. Did any of you guys watch the Oscars? Was anybody watching the Oscars? Did you see the video of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock? Let's see here. Okay, now I'm looking because I want to make sure what Paul just asked about Emarketer, and I don't see a actual YouTube channel for them, which is weird, but I can check that later on. I'll let you know. Which platforms have the best ad rates to get most bang for the buck? I'm going to go with TikTok right now. And here's the deal. Here's the thing. You can't just say, what is the ad rate? Because the ad rate is going to give you a rate based on how many people actually see the ad, but it doesn't tell you what your ROI is. So you've got to kind of combine what the ad rate is with your ROI. And in addition to that, it's different for every business. So to say, hey, Facebook's got the cheapest ads, that wouldn't mean anything if nobody's clicking and nobody's buying. But then again, some people will buy on Facebook, let's say survival food, but then again, they won't buy t-shirts. Okay. And I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that different types of products do differently on different platforms, and your ads matter a lot too. So you got to switch up and do a whole bunch of different ads. All those things are important. I think Chris Rock got a lesson on boundaries. I'm on the other side of that one, Paul. It's like, I think that comedians should be allowed to say whatever they want, and the response of the audience can be, we can watch them or not watch them. I don't think we should censor any comedians whatsoever. it could be really offensive. And I've been offended by comedians before. I know that. There was somebody I subscribed to on Sirius XM and I quit listening to him. But that's my choice. I don't think we should dictate what they're allowed to say, because they're going to break boundaries. They're going to do that. And that's really the nature of comedy, is to go as far as you possibly can to where you actually offend somebody. There's been a lot of comedians in the past that have done that, from Lenny Bruce on forward to Richard Pryor to all those great comedians, Eddie Murphy. I mean, if you look at some of Eddie Murphy's stuff, and I don't want to get off the bandwagon here, but if you look at some of Eddie Murphy's stuff, he was extremely offensive, and when he was on stage in the 80s, and I think even into the 90s. I mean, he said some stuff that you couldn't say nowadays. But I believe all comedians should be able to say whatever they want. I do. I just believe all comedians should be able. That's the only, I guess, area. You can't be like a president and call for the ouster of another world leader, if you know what I mean. But as a comedian, I think you should be able to just say whatever you want. You just should. No one will want, all right, this is number 4, by the way, of keeping track. No one's going to want to talk to your brand on the phone anymore. Between lockdowns and halting global supply chains and labor shortages and all that stuff, guys, consumers have had more urgent questions for businesses than ever before, but they've discovered they can get answers to those questions more conveniently by using social media. So they don't really, I mean, I get so many of these, I guess, chat messages on our website now. In a Nielsen survey commissioned by Facebook, 64% of people said they would prefer to message rather than call a business. And according to Gartner, 60% of all customers' service requests will be managed via digital channels by 2023. They're not calling anymore. We don't get many phone calls. We just don't. They put in support tickets. Despite the rise in demand, many organizations aren't ready to deliver effective customer support over social media yet. And I'll tell you, having a message bot, which is what we have on our sites, and I use Kartra. It comes with Kartra for free. If you don't know what Kartra is, I'll have a link to Kartra in the description below. You can click the link. You can watch everything that Kartra does. But one of the things it does is it gives you one of these messaging bots. And it's not really a bot. I'm calling it a messaging bot, messaging center, where somebody can send you a message and you can respond to them. And that's really nice, and that's free with Kartra. So check that out. There's a link below. And if you like Kartra, you can get a trial for like $1 if you want. So what do we need to do? We need to start thinking about social media customer service strategy. Okay. Have we done this in the past? A lot of us have not. Create network specific response templates for frequently asked questions. If you haven't already, try using a chat box if you want. I don't really like chat box. I like to actually answer them. I know it's not instantaneous, but it's real. Merge your customer service conversations into one tool. Naturally, there's all kinds of ones out there. I like Hootsuite inbox, so you can check that out. Train your social media marketing team in customer support best practices. Better yet, if you want, hire dedicated customer service agents for your social channels. That's a good idea if you can, if you have the money to do so. Next thing, number 5, long form video is a bust. It's a bust, except on YouTube, which is where we are now. We do long form video. If you're trying to do long form video on Facebook, it isn't going to work. It just won't. I'm looking at a chart right now, and I can't really put it up here, but the stat puts video length on social media platforms into perspective. If you have a 0 to 60 second one, that is about 37% of the content. That's crazy. A 61 to 120 second one is about 23%. 121 to 240 is 16%. So that accounts for about 80% of all of the videos out there. 2 years ago, with the advent of IGTV and Facebook Watch, not to mention the supposed demise of Snapchat, there was a moment when we all thought that long form video was the future. For a second, we thought that. Now it still is on YouTube. YouTube, known for its long form educational videos, was rewarding videos that passed the 10-minute mark, of which all my videos are past 10 minutes. Okay, I just do that. And Facebook wanted to compete in the same arena. But see, Facebook is not a video site, and that's the problem. Businesses rush to make TV series for their social platforms. Will Smith, the guy that slaps people, even named an IGTV show for National Geographic. It seemed like Facebook might not only be taking on YouTube, but cable TV networks as well. So, but when but then TikTok arrived in North America. In response, Instagram Reels in late 2020 started, and the rest is history. Fast forward to 2021, Instagram has depreciated IGTV. No one talks about Facebook Watch anymore. And even YouTube, in the last bastion of long form video on social media, has introduced a new format. You guessed it, YouTube Shorts. I don't do YouTube Shorts. I don't get YouTube Shorts. Maybe they work. And here's the thing, guys. I'm going to go through all this with you. There's a lot of suggestions here. You don't have to like or do all these things. I just want to let you know about them. The success of Reels and TikTok follows the success of Stories, another short form video format, which saw rapid user uptake from 2018 to 2020, but it's declining now. Facebook hasn't updated the 500 million user count for Stories since the release of Reels in 2020. So we can't really tell if it has grown, but attempts to copy the disappearing short form video format on Twitter and LinkedIn failed in 2021. So it's probably not working anymore. This suggests that social media users won't watch just any short videos. They have to be entertaining. They got to be educational. They got to be fun. Okay, if they're not fun, people are going to watch it. Whatever the reason, Hootsuite's 2020 social media trend survey shows that businesses prefer short form video too. They just do. Let me get to some of these comments here because I've been talking for a bit. All right, let's see here. Oh no, I think I'm caught up. Yes, I'm caught up on that, so I'm good. But put your comments in there, guys. I definitely want to hear what you've got to say about all this. Super important to me. I love your opinions, and you guys really keep the conversation going. So what can you do? If your goal is to reach new followers, experiment with TikTok videos. If your goal is to re-engage your existing Instagram audience, experiment with Reels. I don't like either one of them, but I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you the data, okay? If you have success with short form videos in one platform, try it on another, because every business is different. Every person is different. Also take note of the results. As a result, you'll want to translate videos to each channel. No TikTok watermarks on Reels, okay? Just put a little bit of work into it. Number 6, you'll outsource at least some of your engagement tactics to a creator. The creator economy has been around for about a decade, but it boomed during the pandemic as people looked for ways to diversify their income due to unemployment or sudden influx of spare time, or even both. But we're not just talking about millionaire TikTok stars or YouTube stars. It's now considered common for regular folks to monetize their hobbies, create a second income, or find freelance work through social media too. I mean, I have a second income on YouTube. Hence the rise of creators. Okay, we have creators out there now. They really encompass professional influencer marketers, amateur content creators, especially anyone who writes, edits, designs. If they're filming stuff, if they're videoing stuff, if you're publishing on social media, you can be a creator. As of 2021, get this, over 50 million people consider themselves to be creators on social networks. 50 million, okay? That's a lot, guys. And businesses are set to spend $15 billion on influencer marketing in 2022. I get people contacting me all the time that want me to, promote their stuff, and I can't justify it based on how much they want to pay me, even if it's $1,500 or $5,000, because if I spend that same amount of time talking about my business, I build up my business. If I spend time talking about their business, I just get one payment, and it just doesn't matter much. As a follow-up to staying in contact with customers, thoughts on messenger versus email marketing. I'm not a big lover of messenger, and I'm not because it seems commercial and I tend to block them when they do that. So I don't like it. I like email marketing, and people have said that they actually prefer to talk to businesses based on email marketing. They don't mind, their brands contacting them through email, but they feel it's kind of intrusive, and I do too. When people actually send me a message, because I feel like that's a personal thing. So I don't like it. Social networks are both driving and responding to this boom by adding many new monetizations. Let me kill my watch here, it keeps going off. But some of the monetizing tools you may want to use are going to be Twitter's paid super follows. That's kind of cool. YouTube brand content, TikTok's creator marketplace, Instagram collabs, Instagram's branded content ads, and Facebook brands collabs manager. All of those are really, really good, and I would suggest that you check all of those out. But some of the things you can do, you can define your audience that you want to reach, and which platform they're on. That's important. So when we say one platform is better than the other, it depends on the niche you're in. Okay. Browse creator marketplaces, make a short list of people who have clout with that audience, and get ready to pay fair rates. Even the most micro of creators know their worth, and they won't be willing to work for free. Okay. So you're going to have to pay these creators if you want to use them. You need to learn paid advertising, even if you don't do ads yet, because you will. You're going to do ads. 43% of respondents say they decline of organic reach and the need to increase paid advertising budgets was their biggest challenge. So, organic reach is just nothing anymore, especially on Facebook. It's just dead, but it's very good on YouTube. So this makes sense. The decline of organic reach has been well documented for years. We all know about it, especially on Facebook and Instagram, and most have limited funds to pay towards, pay to play type tactics. So they're going to go towards these smaller creators now. The fact remains that the average organic reach for Facebook is about, what do you think it is? Put it in the comment section if you know. I'm going to tell you what the average organic reach is for Facebook. In other words, when you do a post, what percent of the people actually see it that are in your sphere, okay? And put that in the chat section, put it in the comment section below, and I'll tell you what it is in just a second. So you can expand your social media strategy to other networks where it's still possible. You could do that, but if it's not possible, it ain't possible, okay? Do you think a survey to customers to find where they hang out is worth the effort? 100%. I think it's really good. I love surveys. You got to be careful with surveys. Are you surveying enough people? If you survey 12 people, it doesn't mean much. If you survey 1,200 or 12,000 people, it means a lot. So you really got to kind of look at, how big is your survey, but I think they're definitely useful. So what else can you do? You can keep using organic social media content to increase brand awareness, and put in that chat there, guys, or the comment section. What do you think is a percent of organic reach on Facebook right now? Keeping using these things, the organic will still help because you're going to get something back, okay? Experiment with promoting your top posts to new potential customers. Try that. If you're ready to level up your ads game, consider investing in a solution like Hootsuite Social Advertising. It allows you to publish ads on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn and track the performance in the same dashboard. Let's see here. I've got a comment here. It's Paul. Paul, you're working hard today. I appreciate it, buddy. 15% on organic. They definitely push target ads on you to get no results on Facebook. Here's the number. Are you ready for this? 5.2% is organic reach now. 5.2% is organic reach on Facebook. So 95% of your audience will never see your post. 95%. That's pretty amazing if you think about it. They're just not showing it to people because they don't make money on organic stuff. That's not true on YouTube. The eighth thing I want to tell you about is you won't post anything without social listening strategy, okay? During the pandemic, many businesses jumped on board of social listening train for the first time. They like being able to respond in real time to questions and conversations with their customer during, let's say, a health crisis. But as this world illness progressed and it was buffeted by ongoing political upheaval, labor shortage, and increased resentment towards corporations, even more businesses learned that social listening could help them understand their customers' changing preferences and avoid the PR mishaps, okay? So the trend is backed by data from Hootsuite's 2022 Social Media Trends Survey. Many of the respondents said that they either somewhat or strongly agree that social listening has increased in value for their organization over the past 12 months. So get out there and see what people are doing. And here's some things you can do. Set up 3 search streams in your preferred social media management tool. If you don't have one yet, try Hootsuite. I think it's really good. I use Hootsuite. Your brand mentions, your branded hashtags, products, spokespeople, all that stuff. Your competitors' brand mentions, brand hashtags, products, and spokespeople. Look at that, okay? You're looking at search streams right now, trying to see what's on there. Look for keywords, hashtags important to your industry as a whole. Check that out. And I'm getting down to the last one now. The last one. Let's see here. Paul's the only one working today. You got other people on here, guys. Put some questions in there, put some comments. Your VP will ask you to develop a social audio strategy. What's a social audio strategy? Now, Clubhouse launched in April 2020, but grew steeply in popularity in 2021. I personally think it's an entertainment thing and it's a waste of time. I really do. Twitter launched its social audio platform Spaces quickly after, and Facebook is also reportedly trying to enter the live audio format. The problem with what I saw with Clubhouse, and I think they've since changed it, is as soon as you had a conversation on Clubhouse, it was only live, that you could only hear it live, and then it disappeared, it was gone. So that was a bad thing. Now, these elements had many social media teams, including Hootsuite's, scrambling to decide whether it was worth investing in social audio strategy. And as of 2022, social media trend shows that the majority of businesses seem to think it's worth it. I personally don't like Clubhouse. I think it's a total waste of time, but it is what it is. When asked specifically how they were planning to invest, results were fairly mixed across the board, but the most popular option was hosting leading audio live streams as thought leaders. Now, I do believe in that, and I'm doing that right now, but this video is going to be available as long as YouTube's there. Okay, this is not going to go away. It's still going to be there. People can still listen to it later on. And I get probably 99% of my views after I've gone live. Okay, and I get that. People look at it live and they go, okay, I'm busy right now, but I'll go listen to that later. I get that all the time, and that's fine. I don't mind them doing that. So let's break down the data a little further. The survey found that most often VPs in mid to large size companies who plan to invest in social media or audio and thought leadership, as well as companies that were already confident about providing social media's return on investment, use highly sophisticated social marketing tactics, okay, which isn't for the regular person. But that makes sense, right? Because they're high level people. I think, lastly, Clubhouse has started ads that won't even be part of its business model. Okay, I don't think it will be. I personally don't think it's going to last, but that's just my opinion. This is either a pro or a con for businesses, depending on how you look at it. Either way, the lack of ads means integrating your brand into Clubhouse will take some imagination at best, and I think it's a waste of time. The path to return on investment will be a long, difficult path, I can tell you that. But here, there are some things you can do. You don't have to choose one particular social audio platform over another, but you should start thinking about how your businesses can take advantage of social audio in general. Once you've got an idea of the value that you could bring to listeners, start thinking about the different platforms that you want to put it on. So let's say you want to put it on Spaces to engage your existing community on Twitter. You may want to try Clubhouse if you want, connect to new followers, and then bring them over to the other platforms. You may want to look at some of the thought leaders, hopefully good, charismatic, humans and plenty of improv experience in your company to host a talk on behalf of your brand. Make sure you hire a pro moderator who can help minimize the risk of trolls and unwelcome questions, okay? And I expose myself to that every time I do a live, and every now and then I'll get a troll, not a big deal. If no one fits the thought leader bill in your company, consider partnering with an influencer who matches your brand values to host a talk on your behalf. That's all you really got to do, guys. It's not that difficult. Let's see here. I don't waste time on Clubhouse. Surprised how many new platforms coming up. Rumble, Mark Cuban's Fireside, and still waiting to see Trump and social media platform. And you know what? Last week, Elon Musk said he did a survey to ask people if they thought that these social media platforms were censoring them too much, and 70% of the people said they were. So he said he's thinking about a new social media platform too, and I guarantee you that will grow fast just because it's Elon Musk, and I think Trump's will too, just because they have a huge following. And you can love or hate these people. I'm not even talking politics right now. I'm just talking about what's going to work for our business. And I think Elon Musk, oh my gosh. And then today, was it today or Friday? I think it was Friday, he announced he's thinking about a stock split again. Now, I bought Tesla when it was really cheap. I think it was like $137. And then it did a 5-way stock split, and I made a ton of money. And then I bought more of it, and it's going to do a stock split again. I think it could go crazy. So if you don't have Tesla, I think you need to buy Tesla. It's gone from like around $600 or $700 about a week and a half ago to 1,100 this morning, right around 1,100. Let me see what it is right now. Let's see here. Okay. All right, let me see what it is. And I think, does anybody else listen to Clubhouse? Put that in the chat there if you listen to Clubhouse. Yeah, the stock's going through the roof right now, guys. If you don't have Tesla, it's at 1084 right now. Our whole stock market's up right now. I know I'm up a lot since Friday, yeah, check out Tesla, guys. I mean, it's in the news. It's happening right now. So we want to be very aware of that. Anyhow, that's what I got for you today. Are you ready? Are you ready for 2022? Who knows what 2023 is going to be? We don't know. But we know 2022, all these things are happening. And to be part of the conversation, you got to be on top of it. I hope I'm helping you stay on top of it. I hope I'm sharing the information that's going to help you succeed, because that's my job, to share information to help you succeed. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. Wait a second, I got another comment here. Let me get Paul up here. FYI, I heard YouTube was at Podcast Movement Evolutions in LA. YouTube is probably going to be at Podcast Movement in Dallas this August in Dallas. Might be worth checking out this year. Yeah, you're right, Pauline. And I don't do a podcast. My wife does, and she's getting quite a following. She's going to get way ahead of me, but that's okay because she can pay the bills. That's okay. I don't mind that. We can both share those bills. And guys, next month, which is April, I'm trying to see the dates, and I want to share this with you real quick. All right, what is my calendar here? I'm going to be out of town, and I have people staying here, so don't think about breaking into my house or anything. But I'm going to be out of town. I think it's the 15th, which is a Friday. So I probably won't be live because I'm going to be traveling through Monday. So I think that Friday and that Monday, I won't be able to be live. Maybe I can squeeze in something, in between there, or maybe I can do some kind of live. I will be in New Orleans celebrating Easter in New Orleans with a friend from high school. So that's going to be pretty cool. Let's see here. See you Wednesday, gang. Paul's saying goodbye. So yeah, I think, we're at 10:37. Heck, I'm way over, aren't I? Sorry about that, guys. I went a little long today, but man, you guys are so much fun. I appreciate you being here. Paul, thank you for all the input and notes. He's really good about that. Later on, I get a lot of comments from you guys. So don't forget, if you're not watching this live, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that red button, turn it gray. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn all bell notifications so you're notified each and every single time I go live, or if I upload a video. Was that too fast? I think it was. Give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. Hit that thumbs up. Every single time you see one of my videos, hit that thumbs up. But if you've already hit the thumbs up, don't do it again, because it unthumbs ups it. It makes it go back down. We don't want that to happen. We don't want things going down. That's not good. Guys, you have a great day. I appreciate you being here. I'll see you on Wednesday.